Well, it was Goudlock or Darius Morris. Similar kind of players for the Lakers. And which one's going to stick? And Morris last year had a better preseason. He stuck. And then Goudlock, because of the injuries, came on at the end of the season for the Lakers, their second-round pick. There's Carlos Boozer watching the potential of a couple of new teammates. And I'm talking about guys that aren't guaranteed fall-in bites. Guys that aren't under contract like Marcus Teague is right now, as well as Malcolm Thomas.
And the third, Charles Boozer.
Yes.
His brother here.
His younger brother. Played at Iowa State. He's on the Bulls Summer League edition.
He's rocking the mohawk, though.
He didn't get the memo. Reed on the spin. Not close for the Grizzlies. So game spurts. So right now it's an 8-1 run. As Goudlock makes it an 11-1 run. Nobody's going to question Andrew Goudlock's range. The MVP of the D-League last year, playing with both Rio Grande and Sioux Falls. Team is back into the game, the Latvian national. Now the mismatch. Green up against a 2-3 Snell, kind of a swing guy. Green didn't take advantage either. He had good post position. Alert play by Marcus Teague. Otherwise, it's going into the backcourt. 4 minutes left in the half. Chicago on a roll right now. Extra pass for Eric Murphy. And Reed kept Thomas away from it. Roden picks it up. So let's see if Roden picks it up in the sense. And that was a nice no look, but Willie Reed couldn't do anything with it. Goudlock on the trail. And patience pays off, doesn't it?
Sure does.
He's got a guy who's setting it up pretty effectively. You can tell the difference the way Marcus Teague is running things.
He is, and effective first half. He's attacked the rim. He's created opportunities for teammates. The Bulls have a 29-21 lead. At the end of the day, it's about winning.
Holding Memphis to 28, now below 28% shooting after that miss by Green. What a foul on the boards. So the Chicago Bulls reconfiguring their bench again. And opportunities are there, although they brought in a guy who's coming off a real bounce-back year in Mike Dunleavy. He had a great year for the Milwaukee Bucks off the bench. And an opportunity. And Mike said there was more money out there, but the desire to play with a team that really got a shot. And Chicago definitely does with a healthy Derrick Rose.
Well, he said it was all about Derrick. Derrick's return. MVP caliber player in this league, but rare.
Good pass. That time Goudlock giving it to Teague. Beautiful pass.
Also Dunleavy, Mike obviously returned to play with Carlos Boozer, teammate in college from his Duke days.
Chicago right now on a 15-1 run. And on the takeaway. Goudlock off the crossover. And against the bigger man, a lot of space once he broke it off. Teammate couldn't do anything about it. Goudlock picking up the pace, and he's showing his experience as he's all of a sudden now 15 points on 6 of 9 for the field, but he can also find his teammates like he did with Marcus Teague, quad former Los Angeles Laker, and Rick Foxy is making the most of it now.
Well, I'm sure the Lakers are wishing he had done this more consistently, especially now with the new direction of the Lakers. But look, he's taking care of his business right here for the Chicago Bulls and keeps doing that to find a new home.
We saw the Lakers on NBA TV yesterday as they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in their Summer League opener. And there's some slots there. Right now, they've got basically about 12 guys, so there's a couple of opportunities. If they're going to carry 14, which most teams do carry at least 14.
I think we just saw some of the scouts walk behind us.
Yes.
From the Lakers. So they're looking. They're still looking.
Set it up for Vanderbilt. It's a nice drive and kick. And fortunately, Willie Reed's okay at the bottom of that pile as Jack Cooley cleaned it up. Jack Cooley from Chicago, out of Notre Dame, who was most improved player in the Big East 2 years ago. Breaks a long dry spell for the Memphis Grizzlies. Brings it back to a 10-point deficit.
Well, what's concerning right now for the Grizzlies is that their reputation is of defense. And if you're going to play in Memphis and make that team, you definitely need to play some defense.
Memphis last year, defensively, only 89 a game allowed. That was the very best in the NBA on 43% shooting. They also out-rebounded the opposition by 4 a game. That was second best in the league. Malcolm Thomas got it on the way up. They're going to say it was on the way down. But that looked like a pretty good one, even though he was close to the rim. And a lot of times, if you're in front of the rim, benefit of the doubt goes to the shooter. Final 2 minutes. Memphis cutting into the deficit. Good setup on the little skip bounce. But they couldn't capitalize on a good look on the opposite side for Deon Thompson. Cooley, we've seen him outside. Looking good inside with the jump hook with the left hand. The 6th straight for the Grizzlies. All of a sudden, a 6-point deficit. And the takeaway by Tony Roten. Willie Reed going to the free throw line, looking for the 3-point play. I thought Roten was going elsewhere with it. Made a good decision, though, obviously. So Cooley inside.
From Tony.
And Willie Reed. He looked off over to the other side. He had Vander Blue and used him as a beautiful decoy.
Well, this is what they're hoping to see from Tony here. Team down by close to 10 points and made a couple steals, made a couple assists. Pulled them back here into this game going into half.
Final minute, and both teams picked it up offensively. Drive and kick, clean look.
Yeah,
and Andy Routens, and we just talked about he was the winner of the 3-point shootout at the D-League Showcase, and boy, he's open by 10 feet. That can't happen. Good stroke. Pulls back up by 7 to the first bucket of the game for Routens. Roten showing his range. He can shoot. There's no question about that. Coming up short at the end of the half. A lot of minutes out there in their first game of Summer League play. In fact, for Roten, he'll finish the first 20 playing 17. And we've seen a bunch of guys come out, and not that they're out of shape, but the anxiety, the emotions, the energy they expend. Malcolm Thomas, shot clock violation. No, got it off in time. Barely. Final shot coming up for the Grizzlies. Second basket of the game for Malcolm Thomas. Vander Blue is off, and Tima can't control it after taking it away and giving a shot to Thomas in the process. So Chicago's little burst at the end of the half, and they go to the locker room after leading every step of the way in the first half. Up by 9. Stay with us on NBA TV as we continue in Las Vegas at the
An opportunity here to continue to improve their games this week. The Goudlock in the scoring department, something he does extremely well. He'll continue to do that in the second half. The star of the first half.
Yeah, Marcus Teague, he's mentioned it, filling up the box. 8 points, 5 boards, couple of assists, not one turnover over almost 16 minutes of work. Tony Roten, on the other hand, 6 points, couple of assists, 3 boards, 1 turnover, and he was out there for close to 17 minutes. And when we talk about turnovers, it starts with a turnover for Memphis.
Well, Cooley was one of the bright spots for the Grizzlies in the first half. 6 points, 3 rebounds, but he had 4 fouls. They had a foul trouble.
You can't foul out. You can get into the bonus in a hurry, and the technicals as well. Malcolm Thomas back at it, and picked up by Timo. So Roten with the lanky lefty with a no look for Willie Reed. On the run, it's a 7-point game. So Roten showing his ability to find his teammates. We're going to be joined in just a moment by the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. And it's no shock to find him in a gym with 108 degrees outside, especially when his team is playing as Goudlock fills it up. Good sign for the Chicago Bulls and head coach Tom Thibodeau. And opportunities potentially for fall invite for some of these players in Summer League. Team trying to drop it off. It's kicked in the process. 14 on the shot clock. And we welcome now the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, Tom Thibodeau. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and opportunities. You're reloading that bench once again, it seems. But the biggest news and the best news is what you had to say just a few weeks back after watching Derrick Rose and the progress of Derrick Rose.
He's doing real well. You know, we're obviously anxious to get started for next year.
You know, Derrick Rose, and somebody said this a long time ago to me. He said, when you're a Ferrari and you feel like a Corvette, you want to wait till you feel like a Ferrari once again. And that kind of sums it up, I would imagine, the way Derrick Rose felt.
Yeah, you know, right from the start, we wanted to be patient with it. And Derrick did everything he could. He worked extremely hard all year long, but could never quite get there. But he's there now, so we're looking forward to it.
Coach, Tony Snell, I've seen enough already to know that he's going to have a really nice career in this league. I know he's friends with Kawhi Leonard. That'd be a nice upside if he could grow into a Kawhi Leonard player.
Yeah, no, he's really worked hard in the short time that we've had him. He's got great touch. He's got to get a little stronger, but he's a great kid, and we're looking forward to the rest of the summer and the fall, and hopefully he'll be ready in training camp.
Tony Snell taken by the Bulls. Coach Thibodeau talking about the 20th overall selection out of New Mexico. A young man who played his high school basketball in Riverside, California with Kawhi Leonard, as Rick was mentioning, and left New Mexico after his junior season. But looks like a guy that lets the game come to him. We talked about that. Doesn't force the issue. Kawhi Leonard, very similar demeanor on the floor.
Yeah, he plays the game at a really good speed. He's not going to take any bad shots. He's patient. If he's open, he'll shoot it. If he's not, he'll move it. We love his athleticism, his length. You know, and he picks things up very quickly. So, you know, we just want him to put a lot into each and every day and continue to improve.
Tell us what you've seen from Marcus Teague so far.
But, you know, the big thing is, I think, having gone through the league for a year, I think he has a much better understanding of the league itself, his teammates, the system, how he has to play, and he prepared himself extremely well this year for Summer League. So this is really the first step towards next year for him.
And an opportunity to show his leadership skills running your system here in Summer League play.
Yeah, I think he's a lot more confident. He's much more vocal than he was a year ago. And again, he's showing good patience. He's picking his spots. He's running the team well. So I think he's grown quite a bit in 1 year, and we want him to continue to grow.
And talk about a guy that grew up with the game. His brother, older brother, playing for the Hawks, of course. His dad, Sean, played for Coach Pitino at Boston University. So he obviously grew up with a basketball in his hand.
Yeah, he's been around the game his whole life, and I think